Hello and welcome to the Temple of Tomes with your host, Indie Comics Jones. Today is December 22nd, 2020, and this is episode 161. Today we're going to take a look at King in Black. This is issue 2 from Marvel, and it came in at a whopping $4.99. I'm not sure what's a 30 page or not. I did not count the pages. It seemed like a pretty quick read this time. We get a nice cover here. We got Null in the middle, and he is the main character of this, along with Venom, as it takes place with a lot of symbiotes and symbiotic dragons, like 100,000 of them, I believe. So what's going on here is it seems almost like this is kind of turned into a DCeased line. Right now we're going through DCeased, Dead Planet, where the superheroes are getting taken over by the anti-life virus. Well, here they're starting to get taken over by the symbiotes, and Null's in control of that. So if you remember the first issue, we ended with Eddie Brock losing his symbiote and crashing down to the street below from a tall building. All right, we got Donny Cates working on this. Let's take a look at some of the people that are on here. Ryan Stegman is penciler. J.P. Morgan. J.P. Meyer is the inker, and Frank Martin is the colorist. Okay, King in Black, Chapter 2, Fall, and you get a little blurb here, which is a little bit helpful, not too bad. Not totally filling you in, because they're bringing in everybody. Every superhero's coming in here, so it's kind of like a DCeased in that way as well. Like I mentioned, we showed Eddie Brock hitting the ground, the street below, crashes on a car and in a pool of symbiotic fluid here. And we go right into an ad. Okay. So there's a lot of action in this, and there's a lot of ads, to say the least. Okay, so Spider-Man tried to stop him, tried to catch him with his webs, was unable to, couldn't stop Eddie's fall. And he's freaking out now. And he finds out that Eddie is still alive somehow, and Null realizes Eddie is still alive as well. So he sends in a group of his newly minted army of symbiotic superheroes that are now under Null's control, obviously. So Spider-Man is freaking out. And this is my first big complaint about this. Well, second, really. The ads are the next one. They're just all over the place. Spider-Man, I haven't been reading him lately, so maybe he's speaking differently, kind of using a different tone and everything else. But in here, he just seems like he's not using the right tone for what's going on with him, for as much as I know Peter Parker. And it gets even a little more silly, too. I mean, this is like the whole world is just falling apart all at once, very quickly. And he's cracking jokes and just not really helping his cause. But we get Johnny Torch coming in, and he seems to be kind of impervious, a little bit at least, to the symbiotic action going on. And we get another ad. So Johnny basically tells Spider-Man that his eyes kind of look funny too. I'm not sure if they always do that. Looks like another character almost. But tells him, don't worry about it. You get Eddie Brock out of here. I'll cover your back and take on these superheroes and everything else that it has to offer. And we get this nice escape shot, very nicely done, pencil, probably by Stegman, I'm assuming. He's the one that set it up, did the composition on it. You get some of the dragons. You see them in the background, this big fireball from Johnny, and there's Eddie Brock in a bag of webbing. Then they've got Eddie Brock back at Fantastic Four headquarters getting hooked up to tubes. They're trying to save his life as best they can. They know that they're kind of doomed. We got Jane Foster, Thor here, and Spider-Man. Yes, Reed Richard is here. And here's Dylan Brock. He's been watching it all on TV inside this bunker. And we get yet another ad. So thank you very much, SiriusXM and Marvel, for letting us know about this ultimate remix of Marvel fandom. So Spider-Man goes and collects Dylan, give him the bad news because he thinks Eddie's going to die at this point. He's like on his last limbs, and he wants to just bring him to give him his last wishes. Um, another ad. Thank you. Okay. So meanwhile, back in the lab, you got Black Panther, you've got Reed Richards, Sue Richard, Jane Foster, and here comes wisecracking Spider-Man. It just seems like the worst timing. I'm assuming he's not a teenager anymore. He might be a little older now. And we've got Blade showing up now, talking to some holograph. And they're discussing the failures of the X-Men and whatnot, because they came in and a couple of them got turned as well or killed. So they're discussing what to do, how to save Eddie Brock, and Namor shows up. So they're not believing that he's here for the right reasons, but he tells them that basically that his undersea has been attacked as well, and he's ready to join the fight against Null. And then we get another ad. So just action and ads. Okay, another ad. And it continues here. They just keep discussing, and Tony Stark shows up and says, you know what, I got a plan, but it's going to take a number of things. One of the symbiote dragons. So the action kind of picks up a little bit more again here. Namor goes off to find out, to bring in some of his baddies, because Tony Stark thinks they could be helpful in this cause. He's asked Blade to go and get his undead, so you see him talking to Dracula. And now, just like in DCeased, they are also going to visit the den of thieves and criminals and bring them into the mix too, namely Kingpin, who is the mayor, I guess, of New York right now. So he's been called into action. Meanwhile, Iron Man goes ahead and takes on one of the dragons flying inside and is able to use one of his inventions to control this particular dragon. And we can see like Iron Man kind of changing a little bit because as he takes on the symbiotic control and form a little bit. You got Null's symbol up there on his forehead. And we get another ad. Man, it's like, talk about breaking up the continuity of this story. So it turns out that Eddie continues to be like almost dying, and Dylan's just saying, stop. I think I can save him. I think I have the power to. Iron Man is back, and as you can see, he has transformed in this symbiote Iron Man suit now. So he's looking pretty cool and dapper. And we get another ad. And Dylan does his thing. And it brings Eddie back a little bit. And this is kind of where it ends. It's like they're just kind of up in the air. So this is the end of 2. It's 2 of 5 issues. I'm assuming the next one will be more of Tony Stark's plan, which I'm interested to see what it is. It's actually kind of been good. The first issue, if you remember, it was just one beatdown after another. You know, nothing was going right for our heroes. This one seems to be more of a plateauing and the stabilization of everything as they come up with a plan and get more allies to help out. And I'm assuming the third one will be the beginning to initiate the plan against Null. And Black Knight #1, King in Black. Not sure if that's who that is exactly, but if that's the Black Knight or Knight Takes King. That's coming out next month in January. Avengers 41. Not a King in Black. And then we get a short preview of Venom #32. I have reviewed Venom 31 on here, and it is kind of a side story of Venom within the King in Black incident here. And I think it goes more into his fall and whatnot, his transition. out of the symbiote body. So just a 3-page preview, nothing much. Then we get the cover for King in Black number 3. And yes, I'll be on it. They're saying it's not coming out for a month. So it's a month away. This one was just 2 weeks from the last King in Black. So we'll see how that goes. That's King in Black number 3 coming out in January 2021. All right. And when we look at our checklist, we have reviewed King in Black number 1. We have reviewed the Union number 1. And we also reviewed Venom number 3. So now I kind of skipped all these, and we did King in Black number 2 just now. So we'll be back with one of those in the future. But for now, this is Indie Comics Jones. Thank you for stopping by. Please subscribe, like, leave comments, and we'll see you next time. I got a few more to go this week before Christmas. And I'll see you next time at the Temple of Tomes. As for now, I bid you adieu.